Don't you just hate it when you're grabbing a nice juicy apple for breakfast and then it's scrambled?
What am I gonna do?
Disclaimer, you have to know how to solve a 3x3 before watching this tutorial.
Well, if this ever happens to you, what you have to do is understand that there are 3 types of edge pieces on a Apple 3x3. It's the same thing as a normal 3x3, but it's in shapes instead of colors. So basically, there are 3 things that you need to look for. There are short edges, medium-sized edges, and long edges. That long edges. What we have to do, we need to make a first layer out of only the we need to make a first layer out of only these long edges. Make sure that the indent on these longer edges are facing the stem of the apple. Next step, we need to make sure that these corners are in the right position. Make sure that the upper side of this centerpiece is matching this edge piece right here. I feel like I'm talking really weird. Next up, we need to put the corners in. There are 2 types of corners on this cube, long corner and small corner. We're going to be putting the long corners in today. Now, let's say that you put a corner in wrong, all you have to do, R, U, R prime, U prime, and keep repeating that. Now we have a first layer of the apple completed. Now we need to make sure that all of the edges are in the right, not edges. Why do I keep misnaming these? These are centers. So now when you see that this has happened, you need to make sure that all of the proper edges go into the second layer. The way to tell that is the longer side of the long edge is facing this corner piece right here. So if I had it and I look like this and I try to put it in here like this, it wouldn't go well. So I need to make sure that I'm putting it in like this. So now we have this situation where this edge is flipped. So all we have to do, if we remember from the 3x3, there's a very simple algorithm to do. So now we have to switch this one edge as well. And technically the cube is solved, but it's actually not solved. We actually have to feel very carefully around this little section right here. And if you'll see that there is a bump right there and a bump right there. These 2 edges are facing the right way, but these 2 edges are troublemakers, so we're gonna have to fix them with this algorithm. Make sure that these 2 edges are right here. It's the exact same thing as a hook right here. So what we gotta do, make sure the bumped edges are right here. Do this algorithm that we remember from the 3x3. And then we need to make sure that all the corners are correct. So we have one bumped corner right here. And if we feel around, if we can feel another bumped corner right here. So we know that these corners need to be switched. And there's no direct way to tell which way that they need to be switched. So it's all trial and error. But hopefully you remember how to switch corners from a 3x3. And this one didn't work, so we're gonna have to do it one more time. And now the cube is solved.